BlogTalk Radio.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of our chat, our 5-year-old conversation about your Kundalini awakening experiences. My name is Chrism. I'm your host, and I'm just going to dive right into it as we usually do. So here we go. Within the Kundalini, there is you can see yourself as going up a pyramid, a beautiful, beautiful pyramid. But while you're still within the body, you really cannot see the top of the pyramid, but you're still climbing it. Sometimes you can gauge how far you've come by the level of the view that you can enjoy. If you look away from the pyramid and out around you into the environment, and by looking away from the pyramid, in a way, you're taking your focus off of your path, off of your Kundalini destiny, but in a way you're not, because when you look away from, say, the direct absorption and propagation of Kundalini within you, you're also looking at your environment. You're looking at your family, your friends, your work, the sun, the moon, the stars, the land, the air, the water, the insects, the animals, the molds, the viruses, the bacteria. Everything that is of a created life form upon this world and off of this world. And so you're looking that is included within your view as you climb that Kundalini pyramid and you pause for a moment and you look around you. It's very important for us to do this at times so that we can begin to measure the necessity for taking a large step or a small step or a side step, or maybe stepping back down a little bit to finish up a teaching there, or walking to another side of the pyramid. The pyramid has 4 sides, and so you're looking at 4 different areas of life that need to be worked on, and the evolution of your soul requires that you get balanced and educated in all the 4 areas of life, including the up and down. So you might say the 6 areas of life. As you look out across that amazingly beautiful view, and you see the sun, the stars, the earth, the plants, the animals, the friends, the family, the strangers, the bosses, and the different vehicles that you may have within that context. Just a second here. As you see that and engage in that, just got to plug this thing in here, or I'm going to lose y'all. See, that's you gotta look at where you're plugged into as well. You got to make sure you're plugged into the pyramid. Oh, I see. Santara is asking people, can you hear? Is the sound okay? So I'm gonna ask Alana Seeker or Tim or David if they can hear what is being said. Had a little bit of a trauma with my computer today, so I'd like to make sure that microphone is working. It looks like David's typing, and it says, sounds great. Okay, thank you, everyone. Alana Seeker, thank you. Okay, so we are being listened to, or at least, people can hear the sound. Whether they're listening, well, that's another question. So as you look out on that amazing landscape and you look at your interactions with the environment around you, the environment of life, the cosmic life that encompasses all life, all of creation, whether science deems it intelligent or not. As we look out into the cosmic life force that permeates this world and the other worlds and the different stars and quasars, suns and the dark matter and the interdimensional matter as well, as we look out across that landscape, we can see where we are within it. If we're able to be honest with ourselves, if we're able to ask ourselves the question, well, how am I doing as I climb this Kundalini pyramid, this beautiful, beautiful pyramid? How am I doing? Am I being forgiving? Am I being tolerant? Am I being incompassively accepting of all different forms of life and different expressions of emotions and different levels of information? How am I doing? Am I narrowing my ability to embrace this amazing level of life and interaction? Am I narrowing it to a point where I can only see certain levels? And do these levels feed the ego? Am I doing my ego work? Am I looking out across the vast expression of cosmic life? And is my expression within that vast, amazing, beautiful, divine landscape, is it geared toward ego, self-fulfillment? Really? Is this as high as I've come? Do I need to be known or famous? Or should I be considered special or wonderful? What levels of self-aggrandizement do I need to have at this point in my development? And can I move beyond that? Can I allow myself to have the ignominy of not being known or heard or listened to or agreed with? Can I allow myself to just absorb? And can I allow myself to have the Kundalini come through me without suffering, as Shakespeare said, the slings and arrows? Can I see the responses of other people's egos with compassion and caring, the same way that a mother or father would see a child that is actively being disobedient? Can you look at those people in full display of their ego eccentricities in such a compassionate way? Can you take yourself out of the predator-prey environment and look at yourself as part of a vast web of power that only changes form? The power itself does not change, but the form that power exercises does change. Can we see ourselves beyond the lockstep emotional environment of what our society considers love to be? Think about that as you gaze from that pyramid step, however high it is. Can you see how your love, is changing as the Kundalini in you expresses itself through you upon that vast environment, that amazing view? Can you see how your love is evolving and changing and transforming? Or do you see your love as being stuck in a particular form of expectation, a particular form of attachment? Can you see your love and your appreciation of a spouse or a mate or a boyfriend, girlfriend, in a romantic context? Can you see that evolving or not evolving? How deeply do you buy in to the societal expectations with regards to your love? The love that you give and the love that you receive, the love that you appreciate and the love that maybe you don't appreciate so much. Where are you within the ascending climb of the Kundalini Pyramid? Where are you with your love? Are you forgiving of your spouse or your mate or your boyfriend, your girlfriend? Are they forgiving of you? And if they're not, are you forgiving of them for not being forgiving? Where do you stand on that step of the pyramid? Do you walk the talk of your Kundalini? It's fine to just sit here and talk into the computer microphone and say, oh, yes, I am the Holy Chrism, and I am here to teach you all about this or that within the Kundalini, but some walk the talk. You see, does he do the work? Is he actually moving up the pyramid and around the pyramid in a spiral? You see, in my estimation and what I'm being given, even now as I speak of it, I'm seeing a visual. You don't walk straight up the pyramid. You walk in a spiral up the pyramid. And that spiral can be as shallow and as deep as it needs to be, but it needs to be a spiral so that you occupy all 6 sides of that pyramid, including the highest point that you can't even discern, but which is clearly discerning you. Think about this. Are you able to see the truth given to you by the Kundalini through the eyes of another? Can you look deeply into the eyes of a child and see the truth of the Kundalini, to see the reflection of grace within their eyes and know your true destiny? Can you see that? This is the Kundalini big picture I'm talking about here. That big picture has many, many, many little pictures within it. Can you back away? And at the same time that you back away, can you dive even deeper as you look and experience the Kundalini big picture? Can you hear the call of grace as he and she call you ever, ever, ever upward in that spiral around the pyramid? Can you hear the call of grace as she calls you up, forward, backward, down, around? The permutations of the teachings of grace. And our addiction to our ego cause us to go back and forth, up and down. We dance on the side of the pyramid as we spiral, ever spiral upward towards its top. What societal expectations do you cling to? What familial expectations based in societal expectations do you cling to, and why? Why do you cling to these things? Do they still serve you? Do they still serve you? Do they help you? Do they assist you as you climb and climb and climb? Think about these questions that I'm asking you. Look at the visions that your Kundalini is giving you as you hear these words. My Kundalini travels on my voice, as we've said in different programs in the past. Listen to the Kundalini within me and let it form a visual arcade, potential equations for you to consider, for you to measure yourself with, for you to embrace the view that you're seeing on the particular side, on the particular step of that beautiful pyramid that you're upon, that Kundalini pyramid. Where are you with your resentments? Where are you with your trauma? Have you been traumatized so long, so harshly, that you can no longer find your compassion? Is this true? Is this something that you're experiencing right now? Or could it possibly be the exhortations of an ego that isn't being fed what it wants to be fed? Only you can really know the truth of that. Only you can be courageous enough to face the inner truth of your triumphs and your disability. We're surrounded in our society by humans making decisions based upon the ego. And yet we, the Kundalini people in this society, are being called to go beyond the ego, to move beyond the ego. Well, how is that going for you? How is that moving for you? Are you able to follow the flow? Can you follow the flow around and up, around and up, around and up that pyramid? And if it shows you, if you get that visual that shows you not in the best place, can you change enough to bring yourself into that better place? Are you willing to go against what your ego says is proper, what your ego says is expected, what your ego says is right? Are you able to go against what your ego says is wrong? Can you expand beyond your programming? Feel the energy in my words. Feel the energy in my voice. Allow yourself to surrender into the grace that surrounds you inside and outside. As you hear these words and you hear the timbre and you feel the energy in this voice, know that it's going through your ear into your spinal cord and all throughout your brain. It's hitting each chakra, not just in the spine, but in the entire system. Every follicle of hair on your body is hearing these words, feeling this energy. Open yourself to this. Allow yourself to experience this. It's one of the most important things that you can do, my Kundalini brothers and sisters. Open yourself to the grace that is giving itself to you, whether it's through my voice or through the voice within you. Open yourself to grace. Take out the expectations of, oh, well, I'm a twin flame, or, oh, well, I'm a twin heart, or, oh, well, I'm a starseed, an ET, I'm a trans-dimensional traveler, I'm a time traveler. All of these labels that we apply to ourselves. Take yourself beyond those things. You are Kundalini, my friends. That is what you are. You are Kundalini. And as you merge with the divine, through that grace, as you merge with the divine, all the handles, even the word Kundalini, just disappear. You become at one all the time, which means you feel very clearly what everything around you is feeling. You understand levels of information that cannot be used, cannot be pronounced with words, But they can be understood through the energy and the radiance of grace, which has multiple vectors that it can travel through, one of them being the voice. Listen to the radiance in the voice. For those of you, and there are many of you, that have the Kundalini in the awakened state, or even the activated state, and you're artists, you're visual artists, and you paint pictures, but you're painting them with your Kundalini. The wonderful thing about this aspect is that the Kundalini stays on the canvas for as long as the canvas particles stay together. And even the dust from a 10,000-year-old cloth painting still has the Kundalini radiance upon it. And when a person looks upon that painting, just the same way that the Kundalini in my voice is coming into your ears, that Kundalini will come into your eyes by the viewing of it upon that canvas. And great levels of healing can be given through those of you who are painters and artists of the visual nature. As you stand on that side of that pyramid, wherever it is, on whatever wall of the pyramid, and you look out upon the landscape that stretches out before you, do not hesitate to dive into any area of that landscape that your Kundalini directs you to transform. We don't transform all at the same time. None of us have the same karma. So we transform at our own speed, within our own karmic equation, as fast as the Kundalini wants us to do. And some of us are on very, very, very fast and vertical curves. Some of us are on slow, very horizontal liftoff. Either one is great. Either one is fine. You still get to the same place. Within divine construct, there is no such thing as time. There's no race. There's no past, future, or present. These are human concepts, and when you go into the divine, the human concepts begin to diffuse and to disappear completely and entirely. And as you're still a human in a corporeal system that is respecting the tenets and the laws of time and matter and space, a part of you goes blank because the divine part does not recognize those areas. You need to understand that until you reach a certain level of the pyramid, that inner pyramid that's sprouting from the base of your spine and going all the way up, until you reach a certain level, discernment of divine expression will come gradually. She'll give you downloads. She'll give you understandings that you would not normally have. But until you get there, you want to curb your expectation. You want to do the hard work. The hard work is what will get you there. The hard work really is looking at your ego, demanding that your ego begin to transform itself into a partnership rather than a dictatorship. Gosh, I cannot tell you how many battles I've had with the egos of students, friends, family, lovers. It can really, really, really tire a person up. And that's why when you insert levels of forgiveness, that grace can really rejuvenate you, can really make you stronger. So strong that you're able to go out that next day or night and once again swim in the sea of the ego and not be drowned in it. Every day You must do this as you climb this pyramid. Look at yourself, ladies and gentlemen. Look at yourself and how you actually are relating from your Kundalini into that sea of ego. Are you drinking that sea? Are you ingesting that salt water, thinking it's going to slake your thirst? And oh my God, do you find out it makes you even thirstier? That's what buying into the ego does. It just makes you need to do it even more. Can you swim in that sea and not drink it? Think about that. Think about that. We have so many attachments that we're programmed with as we come into this society, whatever society we're in. We come with so many attachments and expectations because we were taught by our parents and by our school and by our religious authorities, by our government. We are taught what is the appropriate way to be. And many of those teachings are really, really good and quite profound. Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not steal. You know, just to quote a couple of them from the Christian tradition. But the Buddhists have the same thing. The Hindu have the same thing. The shamanic have the same thing. The Islamic have the same thing. Just different words are used to communicate the same thing. So some of the laws are very, very good, and some of the emotional laws, psychological laws, are really not so good for the Kundalini person. For the Kundalini person who is radiating love for everything, has experienced that divine merge and knows the thought patterns of every dust particle around them and feels the life force of every creature around them, including the microscopic creatures around us. Not all the laws work so well. Not all the rituals and the rules work so well as we find ourselves going beyond those fears and taboos of the programming that we've been raised with. And we must go beyond those fears and taboos. We must expand our definition of love. We must expand our definition of love. Think about that. And expand your definition of love. And speaking of love, I'm going to introduce my co-host here. Her name is Amelia Santara. She is the reason the show exists at all. She has given of her material wealth to allow this show to exist, and I am grateful to her. And I, too, would like to wish her a very happy birthday, which evidently today is her birthday. And so I'd like to say happy birthday and welcome, Santara.
Thank you, Chrism. Thank you very much. Am I being heard okay?
Have you been spanked okay?
For my birthday, definitely not too many. I'd be injured.
You'd be going straight to the ER.
I'm telling you. Yeah. So, but thank you very much. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Thank you for creating this show.
Oh, indeed. It's a pleasure.
Is anything that I'm saying sticking to you at all?
Amazingly wonderful questions, Chrism. It's one of the shows I will definitely be listening back to. The last thing you said there, we must expand our definition of love. Yeah. It's interesting because, love is one of the things that Kundalini really works. There's a lot of noise suddenly happening. Is it me?
It's not me. I'm stock still. I'm like a statue in my chair. I promise.
Yeah, me. It's gone again. But yeah. I mean, there's so much I could say, Chrism. I mean, about love. I've definitely changed with regard to love, and am changing. I'm not done. But I suppose one of the big things, is about the expectations of love, and what would my expectations have been around, like what return would I have expected when I gave love? That sort of thing is changing and has changed within me. And when I notice in myself, that I am expecting some kind of a return, do I self-correct that? Does it take me long? That sort of thing.
How about possession?
Hello?
How about possession of love?
What do you mean, possession of love?
Just that word, possession of love. Can you own love?
Oh, I see. Okay, yeah. No, I don't. Possession of love. No, well, love can't be possessed. Love is something that isn't cannot be confined in a way that I think possessions or possessing something can. Possessing something means, I think, that we have, control and ownership of that. And love is something that, we are and we do. Yeah, I mean, so does that answer you? God, you always put me on the spot.
It's a vast subject. It's a vast subject. We're surrounded by people that have a very specific idea of what love is. And this is their programming. And they bought into this hook, line, and sinker, and it's the total truth and the total reality for them.
Yeah.
How does your Kunalini translate that into a different reality?
Well, in my experience of love and what I would have been conditioned with, from childhood, once I was born, and what did love mean, that's changed very much. Like there would have been expectations around love, that's changed very much. If I was to think of, say, love with my partner, with my husband, that's different now than it was before, in practical, real ways. And same with my children. Sometimes we think we own our children, possess our children. That's been very...
Centaura, can you back off of that mic? I think you're amping it up a little bit. It's starting. Your sound quality is starting to go away.
Okay, how's this? Hello.
I know. I hear you, but it's not getting better. But keep going. We'll be able to figure out your words, I hope. So I'll stop you if I can't.
Just have a check on the chat room, guys. If it's very bad, please leave us know. Because listening back in the archives, it's a pain when somebody goes like this. Okay. See, I'm hearing that noise again.
Well, we're definitely hearing again. I think we're definitely hearing the noise. Centaura is choppy. There you go. Thank you, David. That's absolutely right.
Thank you.
You're just a choppy girl.
I have never thought.
Honey, I'm just gonna put you in the blue here, because you're. It's just not working at the moment, and we'll try to get you back again. Hopefully that will kind of straighten itself out. So, I think what Centaura said about, her husband and the connection that we have with our spouses is very special, and it definitely transforms over time. But how much in what way does it transform itself? Do you listen more to the ego, or do you listen less to the ego? Now, of course, I think with Santara and with a lot of people that have the Kundalini, we listen less to the ego. And that quality of listening is amplified by the Kundalini. And so we learn to discern a different option for our focus. And that focus is listening less to our wants and desires and societal programming, and listening more to the expansion of the Kundalini, the expansion of our love, the expansion and the inclusion of all the different forms of life and matter within our perception. And to change our ego based upon that expansion, based upon the appreciation of that expansion of love. And I know that David's listening, so I'm going to come over to David here. Get yourself ready, David. I hope you're not driving a truck. Here we go. Are you there, David?
Yeah, I'm here.
Are you in the truck?
No,
you are?
I'm at home today.
Okay.
No, I'm at home today. Yeah.
All right. Very good. Very good. How does this conversation affect you, my friend?
Which way specifically? I was in the chat with somebody for a few minutes.
You were what? You weren't listening?
I was answering a question. Someone had messaged me a question in the chat room I was answering, so I didn't catch the last part.
It's okay. I'm just kidding you. How does the expansion of your love affect itself within your life? What has your Kundalini done to change the way you appreciate love and the expanding quality of your love?
Wow, that's a pretty big topic. It's really brought about a lot of changes in my interactions with other people. In some ways that were unexpected. For example, if I'm driving down the road and somebody cuts you off, it's really not as simple anymore as flicking them off or honking your horn and driving off, because I've still reacted that way. I drive a lot professionally as well as personally. And when something like that happens and I get upset or I give them a honk or something like that, Kundalini immediately, and I've heard you put this into words, which is great, it resonates with me, it gives me an instant feeling of heartbreak, of regret that's much more regrettable than I would have before my entering into my Kundalini process. It really gives me a lot of compassion and sympathy for the other person. Maybe they're on their way to the hospital. Maybe they're late for work for the last time and they'll get fired. Before any of that can come up, it's just a lot of compassion and empathy and feeling comes on, especially if I do the wrong thing and retaliate or get angry. It's twice as bad. It comes on really strong that I really shouldn't have done that.
That's an excellent example, David. Thank you for bringing that up. That's an excellent example, and because so many of us in the United States and other parts of the world drive so much, we feel like when you're inside your car, I mean, that is your kingdom right there. You are in control. If you're by yourself, you are in control. You are in charge. You are the power of this, 2-ton, or in your case, maybe a 10-ton steel and rubber and plastic and glass, barreling down the freeway at 65 miles an hour or whatever. You are in control, and we tend not to treat each other in person the same way that we treat each other when we're in our cars. There's a definite behavioral change that occurs, especially if you're in Ireland. Kidding there. That's all right. But yeah, I mean, we, like you say, we'll flip each other off. We'll try to cut each other off. We'll do things to perfect strangers in a car that we would never do in person. You agree?
Yeah, that's for sure. Absolutely. And there's
so
also
when we're driving, Go ahead.
Well, there's circumstances, the opposites happened, where I've made a mistake and another driver's been so conscientious to me, it almost brings me tears of how much space
right,
they give me and leniency and leeway. I'm just really touched by that too when I see the opposite happen.
Or they stop and help you. You're on the side of the road.
Yeah.
God, no, you're absolutely right. The other side of the equation happens as well. And it's an amazing area of refinement, the levels of behavior that we can go through while we're driving on our roads and highways and freeways. And it definitely can alter, the Kundalini will alter your love and appreciation for other people to such a degree that your mannerisms will change. As you so correctly stated, these days I tend to stop at accident scenes if there's nobody there. If the police aren't there, or the sheriffs, or the ambulance, or the EMTs, or the firemen, if they're not there and somebody's just lying out there in pain, well, I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop, and I'm going to give aid and assistance in whatever way I can. And typically, the first thing to do is to say a prayer for the person, to your Kundalini. Kundalini in me, reach into this person and give them aid. Please. Have you done that yet, David?
Especially all winter long, people broken down off the side of the road on a snowbank. I'll be driving 500-600 miles, and I'll see cars all over the place.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I've
like
stopped
over the Sangre de Cristo Mountains there in New Mexico, right?
Oh, yeah. There's quite a bit of mountains between here, and depending on which direction you go. But if you pass by when you should have stopped, your Kundalini will let you know pretty quick. You'll regret it.
Oh, totally true. Totally true.
Yeah.
I've had to make U-turns. And go back to give them help.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, David, thank you. Thank you very, very much for giving your insight into this program. Absolutely true. Every bit of it.
Sure. Yeah,
thank you, my friend. Put you into the blue zone. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. David has brought up some very, very interesting, actionable-based levels of love being expanded. How the Kundalini comes into you and gives you an appreciation for perfect strangers that you may not have ever had before. You may not have ever had the occasion to empathize or sympathize so strongly for the goodness that's being given to you, for some of the more challenging interactions that are being given to you as you climb this pyramid. Let's see how Centaura's doing here. See if she's come back from her choppiness. Centaura, hello.
How am I coming on? Am I okay?
So far, so good. Yes. What do you think of what David just said?
Well, I didn't hear you, David, because I was off talking with somebody this time. So apologies. I was speaking with Indra whenever you're ready.
Yeah, okay, we'll take that question from Indra right now. And blessings to you, Indra, from Toronto. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Oh, you sound really good, really healthy. Good to hear you.
Thank you. I feel really healthy.
It shows.
Thank you. I have a question for you.
Okay. All righty.
I've been noticing for the last 3 days, my energy sort of did a new thing. It's really like it's kind of obvious. Like I stayed with it for 3 days, and I noticed that on top of my head, it feels like there's 3 chakras spinning: left, right, and the center.
You do what now?
Pardon me. Is that part of the Kundalini process?
Can you tell me again what's happening?
I feel like there's 3 chakras spinning at the crown of my head. On the left side, on the right, and the center. It feels like 3.
Yeah. That is a normal thing. You got to remember the crown chakra is composed of many, 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 many chakras. The 1,000-petaled lotus, right? So right now you're feeling 3 of those petals out of 1,000.
Oh.
You're being allowed to feel that.
Right.
And it is a blessing. It's a blessing, and it's a blessing in many ways for you to be able to appreciate the tactility that the Kundalini can bring upon the physicality of your body. It's a grace.
Oh my God.
To feel the energy, actual energetic.
The energy is very beautiful.
Yes. And as you have one chakra spin the other way and the other chakra spin a different way, you have.
And then they all 3 merge, it seems like.
Exactly. And you know what this is, right? This would be the sacred male and sacred female merging into the sacred unity, which represents the triune aspect of Kundalini.
Oh my God, I can cry. Oh, good news. Look, listen, I told you last month when I called in, I had taken a month off work. I felt, I needed to. And I did, and I stayed with my energy. I had a strict diet, a strict exercise routine, good spiritual practices, and then I went back to work. And I noticed for the last 3 days, I'm just feeling like I sat with the energy. I wanted to be sure. And, I'm feeling 3 parts, and it comes with a beautiful energy, but it also comes with some pain, emotional pain.
Yes, it does. Indeed, it does. And most of the pain really is from our resistance to it.
Wow. Chrism, you're right, because I felt like the energy, my Kundalini energy switched on me, and I'm getting used to it. You know what I mean?
Sure. You're getting complacent within it.
Yes.
And so she switches things up on you to kind of tighten up your attention and to tighten up your level of appreciation and to increase your level of understanding and to push your level of expansion.
Right.
And so she gives you new
You
phenomena.
know what? Thanks for the direction. It's always good to have, somebody direct you in a certain part, because, you can certainly get lost in this whole process, right?
Oh, yeah, especially with what's happening with you as you feel the male and the female and the oneness, form that expression upon the top of your head. Because the
thing is, I didn't know it was that. I do feel a tremendous amount of bliss and love and like I said, like it feels amazing. But it was a new thing. It's like 3 chakras, left, right, and the center, and then they all spin together and merge together as one.
That's the triangle.
And pardon me?
That's the triangle. You'll have sacred male on one side, sacred feminine on the other side, and then the unity of the 2 at the top.
Right. Can I ask you a question about that? I mean, you might not be able to answer.
Okay.
Nobody knows the time, but how long does that process usually take?
What process are you speaking of?
About the union.
Oh, the union, the aspects of the union can last your entire lifetime.
Wow.
You got to remember, think about it this way. You've got those 3 chakras that you're experiencing right now, and then you have their radiant emanating effect upon the other 9,997 chakras there on the top of your head. If we use the Hindu understanding of how many chakras are on the head. So, and so you have the male can react with each one, the female can react with each one, the male and the female or the triune quality can act with each one. 2 of them together can act with each one. All 3 of them together can act with each one. I mean, basically there's a lot of different ways. And then there's the time of the reaction. So if we'll just say the sacred male chakra is reacting with with a
Yes,
chakra that
I
yields.
agree. From what I'm
Yeah.
experiencing, I agree because sometimes my head would be tilted to the left, and it has to do with the left and just the center, and then I can go to the right, and then the right merges with the center, and then all three together, and then I can feel all three separate. Is that what you're saying?
I'm going a little further than that. I'm saying that
Okay.
that it would be 3 times 1,000 different opportunities for direct connection from each of the 3 that you're having, and then another 3,000 times the opportunity for, say, male and female to interact with a single other petal on the lotus, and then another 3 times 1,000 for the entire unity to interconnect. I mean, it's quite a bit, and then there's no guarantee about how long each level of interaction is going to take.
Right, gotcha.
There's
Oh,
quite a bit. Yeah.
so is
And
there
then you have
anything
the
I should
subtopics,
be
too,
doing,
that-
or is there do's and don'ts?
Well, total surrender is a do. Resistance is a don't. Expanding your love, definitely a do. Expand beyond the parameters that society has placed upon you and has placed around you.
Okay.
Look at your family, look at your friends, look at your spouse, look at your pets. Look at each individual blade of grass on your lawn. Look at the trees. Look at what we call a weed, and exalt it for the life that it is, the God-created life that it is. Look at the insects. Look at the sparkles in the cement.
Yep.
Look at each star. Pick out a star tonight and look at that. Feel its energy. Feel its radiance within your eye. Feel that connection come into your brain and into your spinal cord. Feel the love that you have for a perfect stranger.
Well, I really do feel like hugging everybody. I really feel like even calling up people from the past that I had a problem with. And just like, I just feel like loving everybody, holding everybody. Even people in the past that I didn't get along with, I'm just having this urge to reach out and,
and
create
if you
peace.
can, do so. Do so. Do not be afraid. Do not be embarrassed.
Okay.
Don't be afraid of their response.
Okay. Thanks for that. Means a lot.
Well, thank you, Indra, for your excellent question commentary.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
And God bless you for what you do.
Thank you. And for you as well.
Thank you.
And so there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. And Centaur, I'm going to move us right into our question and answer period, if we could. Centaur,
Chris. Okay. Okay, I'm picking up my phone now. Just there'll be a little bit of noise.
Oh my God, it's so loud.
Chrism. Okay, that's better, I think. This was the first time I've heard you speaking, at least I think it's the first time that I've heard you speaking about the triangle like that with the 4 sides. Have you spoken about that before?
The triangle with 4 sides?
Yeah.
No,
Kundalini triangle. You were the triangle you were speaking about that we are climbing.
Oh, that would be the pyramid with 4 sides. Actually, with 6 sides.
Yes, sorry. The pyramid, Chrism. I said triangle. I meant pyramid. Yes. Have you spoken of that before?
No.
Yeah, because as you were talking about it, it was really, really beautiful, and it really resonated, even though it was new to me. So thank you very much for that. I could feel it. I think I might even be able to paint it. It was really lovely. and I really enjoyed it. Thank you.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you, my dear, for even listening.
I'm kind of slightly tap dancing as well, in case you might have noticed.
You're tap dancing. Oh, I see. Very nice. Very nice riff there, Amelia.
Now I have them, Chrism. Okay. So the first question. Right. The first question came into my inbox, and it asked, what is the difference and the similarities between self-realization, enlightenment, and merging with divine?
I would say they're pretty much the same. Pretty much the same.
Okay. Thank
you.
I
mean, you can have different manifestations of each one. Self-realization. Are you at the beginning of that? At the end of that? Are you within, say, the ecstatic areas? I mean, I know the Hindu have really taken a position of having very, very separate states of enlightenment. You know, you have the nirvana. You have you have areas that go beyond nirvana. I mean, if you start looking at and you expand yourself beyond the limitations of earthly expectation, there is no end point in enlightenment. You just get brighter and brighter and brighter and brighter until light and dark make no difference to you. And so many different words can mean the same thing. So you have enlightenment, you have self-realization, you have many of what the different religious systems call it. But it all means the same thing. It's just different understandings that cause, well, actually the same understanding within different cultures that cause for the same, a similar word to be devised. Over.
Thank you, Chrism. The next question.
Are you tap dancing again?
No. The next question came from somebody, and he says he had 3 dreams during the current Shakti Path. So there's just a
3
sentence
dreams.
for
Okay.
each dream. Yeah.
Okay.
So the first one is, I and my wife adopted a baby. Was shocked to see that he immediately grew up into a 2-year-old and started jumping on the floor. The next dream, will I tell you the next one? Say that again, please. Oh, you're breaking up now on me. I don't know.
We got your phone. Your phone. Oh, here you go.
Okay.
I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Sometimes we have these technical problems, so I just we'll just have to work through it a little bit. Yeah, it just dropped Santara there. And so we'll wait for her to come back. And I'm going to go ahead and get Rosemary's take on our topic today. Rosemary, hello.
Yes, Chrism, hello.
Hello. Now, you've had a very interesting week, I would say, half of a week. And it kind of deals with some of the issues that we've been talking about, would you say?
You're talking about the needs of others taking over?
Was I talking about that? Is that what I was talking about, Rosemary?
One of the aspects you mentioned of that we see the needs of others.
Okay, well, go ahead and can you tell a little bit of a story without mentioning names?
Yeah, well, first of all, I want to say that what I've learned from you early with direct direction specific about compassion in passing people in need on the street corners, and I have done some things particularly with some homeless people once you had me invite one for supper and do that, it was a very powerful experience. That's a big expansion of my life from this Kundalini work and being your student. What I think you're referring to was the need of someone for support in being a stand for her, with her, and in which it was a crisis in her life, and she called specifically, and I would see her now and then, but not particularly thought I was close to her, but she called and wanted to meet and come to my place before her meetings and receive a blessing. And I chose to go with her to the meetings, and I was aware of the difference I made and that it made for them. And that's new. That was a new experience for me to do that, and to do it with confidence and clarity, and that it was the right thing to do. And it was a way of being of help.
Oh my! I'll go ahead and let you get to that, my dear. Yeah. So I'm going to expand a little bit on that experience now. I think I hear Tara calling back. Can you get a little closer to that microphone? I think it's your phone that's screwing it up, Amelia.
Sound check now. How's this?
It's weak, and you sound like you're speaking in a tin can, but I can understand you.
I'm sorry, guys. My iPad isn't working, so I'm on my phone, and that's causing the problem, I think.
Well, okay, my dear. Next question.
Okay, so I'm going to the next question now, and here we go. I was talking about the dream Chrism. Will I continue with that one?
Yes, please.
Okay, so the first one was the child, the baby suddenly becoming a 2-year-old and starting to jump on the floor. Then the next dream, he went to see a spiritual man in white clothes. The man put his hands on his crown and said, "You are a good person." And in the third dream, an unknown woman served me a cup of tea. She offered pomegranate seeds and asked me to select a gift. I refused to accept pomegranate and gift. The dream occurred on the 3rd, 4th, and 5th day of Shakti.
Wow. Okay, slow down here.
I know.
Let's break it up a little bit. Let's do the first part. The 2-year-old,
okay,
right?
So that was on the 3rd day of Shakti.
Oh, I see. On the 3rd day of Shakti, my true love came to me as a 2-year-old. Go ahead.
On the 3rd day of Shakti, I and my wife, I saw a little baby boy. We were
Nice. Okay.
Immediately.
Wait.
Grew up
now.
and started jumping on the floor.
So we're not talking about the first day or the second day, but we're going straight into the 3rd day?
Yes.
Okay, so that would be the solar plexus, which is the connecting of the oh, I see it. I got the connection. Okay, so what was the baby boy doing?
He started jumping on the floor.
Oh, okay. All right, that makes sense. Okay, so the solar plexus is a connection to the cosmic energy. The cosmic energy is also connected to sacred masculine. Just as sacred feminine is the root chakra, is representing the earth and the life and Mother Nature and all these things, so is the 3rd chakra, represented by the sacred male, represents the cosmic forces, the forces of the solar system, the forces of light and the forces of grace that come from the energy that is coming in rather than the energy that is coming up. And this was represented in this person's imagery as a baby boy, which makes perfect sense to me. And he's jumping up and down because he's coming into contact via the Shakti pot with sacred feminine or the earth. Over. And the next part.
The next dream, which I think is occurring on the 4th day of Shaktipat, I went to see a spiritual man in white clothes. He put his hand on my crown and said, "You are a good person."
Okay, basically a guide that has the attire that this person's psychology can appreciate as being safe, being pure, being a holy man. He probably had a beard too that was white or gray or something like that, and put his hands on the crown and basically read that person's spiritual expression and pronounced that this is a good person. You are a good man or a good person. And that being on the 4th chakra day, the day of love, the 4th chakra contains strong levels of divinity, strong levels of understanding, and is the spark point for the Kundalini to awaken at the base of the spine. So if you can see Kundalini as a pool of petrol just laying around at the base of the spine, it's the 4th chakra that provides the spark to that petrol. And then that, of course, that flame shoots up the spine. So I see this as a divine guidance and a divine proclamation for the individual that they are indeed a good person, that they are indeed on the right path, and they are indeed, probably in thought and deed, beginning a loving expression that can help them within the Shaktipat, but actually beyond the Shaktipat as well. And the next part, Santara.
Part is, an unknown woman served me a cup of tea. She offered pomegranate seeds and asked me to collect gifts. I refused to accept pomegranate and gifts.
I
and
see.
that's all he said.
That's kind of unfortunate. The woman would have been Shakti, the Shakti Kunalini. Pomegranate seeds are typically deep, dark, beautiful Shakti red. And the gifts would have been the aspects of the Kundalini or the awakening of the Kundalini that the person was taking the Shakti pot for. Hello? I wonder what their reasoning was for not accepting the gifts. Maybe it's just not the right time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. You should definitely accept the gifts of Shakti if you're in a Shakti pot.
Because it occurred on the 5th day, would it have been gifts relating to that particular day?
Well, it could have been. She could have been giving the person some of the Siddhic skills that a person can have within the Kundalini. Yeah. I mean, if we're supposing that we're doing the chronological thing up from the 3rd, that would have been the gifts of communication, the gifts of hearing, of voice, of health, of the evolution of the endocrine system. Lots of different gifts can happen at the 5th chakra.
Thank you. So now the next question comes from the groups in one way or another. So the first one is aura made of karma? And if Kundalini energy could be cleaned, cleansed, or altered?
Yeah, the aura is not made of karma. I'm sorry, I have to break it to you. The aura is made of emanations that radiate out from each chakra along the spine, but also each potential human that an individual human organism represents. And so if we have the 17 to 26 trillion cells that make up the human being, we have, come here, sweetheart. Give that to me. You're just going to make all kinds of noise with it. Just a second. I know. You can have it later, honey bun. I'm sorry. I know. I'm such a mean guy. Okay. You can have the 17 to 26 trillion cells, each of them representing a complete, total, mature, formed human being that are also radiating from the spine, and each of its 17 to 26 trillion potential cells, and so on and so forth, ad infinitum. That is what makes up an aura. And the Kundalini activated makes up the halo, which is the sub-aura within the aura. Kind of like an egg. If you look at an egg and you open an egg up, well, you have the white protein part of the egg white. That would represent the wider aura, and the yolk would represent the halo. Over.
Thank you, Chrism.
And Kundalini doesn't clean the aura as much as it cleans the karma. Karma and Kundalini have an interaction, and basically what that interaction is the karma in the individual is within the parameters of evolution that allow for the Kundalini to really bring it on. And so a person will have a really hard early life childhood. There may be abuse, there may be different forms of difficulty that most children may perhaps not have. And that would be part of the karmic design that the Kundalini is pulling from the individual law of karma that is represented by that person's engagement in a body and a life at this time that is accepting of the Kundalini and accepting of the expansion of grace within itself. And so Kundalini, because it's divine, has the ability to modulate the levels of karma that a person would have. So it can modulate that karma, and as that person develops and grows, well, that karma will develop, or will become cleaned, shall we say, if we can use that word. It'll be balanced, or it'll be mitigated, or if you want, cleaned from the person's experience. Over.
Thanks, Chrism. So kind of connected into that, there was a reference to karmic seeds in the chakras. So I'm going to just read. It was somebody, a woman on the group, who was speaking about prayers. And she says, I have been led to books that had the information I thought about prayers. And she said, surprisingly, not a lot of books on spirituality, including Catholic. And my understanding is that
getting kind of choppy there, Santara. Oh boy, you have to do it. We're gonna have to do a technological upgrade for you somehow.
It's my phone.
Yeah.
I'm pretty good recently. That's the phone.
It's not happening now. Can you just shorten it up and ask me the question straight up?
Okay. Having kriyas, does that burn karma, specifically karmic seeds in the chakras?
Thank you.
So that it
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. No. Kriyas do not burn karma. Over. Make them short, please.
How can spiritual people not defend the earth with their lives?
Yes. Spiritual people and non-spiritual people always defend the earth with their lives. Our lives are intimately connected to the earth. And the questioner is complaining, this was taken from the group, the questioner is complaining in a way that spiritual people just are not giving their lives enough. They don't care enough about the earth to step in and be willing to die for the earth because it needs protection. And instead, all we're doing is just standing around and watching the earth die around us. Well, actually, we're not. We're not standing around watching the earth die around us. The earth is far more powerful than people's egos and hubris would allow them to believe. Just a second here, please. Just a moment. The earth is far more powerful than people are led to believe. Just because the earth allows us to change it in a way that our perceptions consider it to be harmful, doesn't mean the world is at our mercy. Basically, it's letting us defecate in our nest, forcing us to live in that defecation. But all it would take is one plague to take care of every single human on this world. Right? It could happen tomorrow. It could happen in 3 hours. One plague is all it would take. So let me tell you, the earth is not defenseless. It is not, the little, we don't, nobody, and certainly no certain religion is a steward of the earth. Oh my God. We are all stewards of the earth, and our life is so deeply connected to the earth that we cannot live and breathe without being tied into the earth, without appreciating the earth. Regardless of where our spiritual foundations are or are not, we are tied into this world, and everybody will give their life to this world eventually. Nobody gets away with that. We will give our life for this world, and our life and our flesh will become this world eventually. Over.
Thank you. Have you experienced or noticed that you are being approached by more people with sexual intentions within Kundalini, and what does that mean?
Well, yes, this does happen. This occurs a lot to people with the Kundalini, and the part of the deal is they feel the radiance of your light of the Kundalini within your aura, and because it's a very, very strong, very, very powerful auric field, and they feel the radiance emanating into them, and they feel it, and it feels good, and they use as a reference point their sexual unions, which, through the orgasm, brings them into a tactile feeling of divine awareness, just for that moment, just for those while those contractions are taking place during the orgasm. And when they feel this, standing next to you on the corner in the street, their ego automatically goes to the reference point, and they feel extremely attracted to the Kundalini person, extremely attracted, and this is what happens, and you just got to kind of, understand that, know that is occurring. Look at any beautiful woman that brings that about in men, and it's a very similar thing, except that it's not. You're not relying on beauty to do that work. You're not relying on, the physical senses to do that work. What is happening is it's the Kundalini that's coming through that person's aura and impacting the other person, and that other person is then becoming extremely attracted. Over.
Thank you. What is your take on fidelity in relationship and marriage?
Fidelity within relationship and marriage is solely up to the two that are involved. Now, I don't know if I wrote this or not. I could go to the group right now and give them my answer, but I'm not going to do that because this is a multifaceted answer. Now, when you have Kundalini come into the picture, fidelity levels may change because the Kundalini may change the individual that is experiencing the Kundalini in order to expand that person's understandings of love. As the person is transforming into a Kundalini format, the marriage that may not be based in Kundalini may not survive. The relationship that is based in more of attraction or, another quality of love that isn't growing at the rate that the Kundalini equation is growing within the person, that relationship may not survive. It may be a necessity for that relationship to terminate so that the one person can go the way that they need to go and the other person can go the way that they need to go as well. It doesn't mean that the relationship was failed. It just means that the relationship succeeded for the amount of time that it needed to be in process. But now, now the Kundalini divine has changed that process. Not just for one, not just for the Kundalini experiencer, but for the one that doesn't have the Kundalini as well. Divinity is also looking at that person's karma and that person's equation and making determination for both parties involved. Okay. So fidelity can be flexible, and fidelity can be immovable at the same time. The Kundalini equation may come to one spouse, and yet the other spouse is activated by the first spouse that has the Kundalini. Well, there is not a level of separation that is being given. One has been entrusted to support the other while one goes through the process, especially if you have kids involved. And so when the other's turn comes, well, then the first person that had the Kundalini will be constrained to help the other come through that level of support by giving them support, by helping them, by handling things that they may not be able to handle at the time because they're going through a Kundalini activation or awakening. And that is also not a guarantee. So really, when we look at it, we're looking at it from, perhaps a religious standpoint or a societal programming standpoint of what fidelity means. And if you look at the United States, like 7 out of 10 marriages fail within the first 5 years. Why did they fail? That's always the question. Why did they fail? Was the relationship based on sexual attraction, and did things just get too, they got used to each other too much? Or was it based on children and it wasn't based in love? Well, they both got pregnant and decided to keep the child, but they kind of fell out of love with each other. I mean, there are many, many, many different ways that a marriage or a relationship can terminate. But within the Kundalini context, you must surrender to the Kundalini first. That means even if your personality is completely diametrically opposite of the person that she's directing you towards, you must engage in a relationship with that person. If the Kundalini commands it, it must be obeyed. And if the Kundalini commands that relationship be flexible enough, for fidelity to be expanded into an interpretation that the societal programming won't accept, then that must be acquiesced to. With Kundalini, she gets to call the shots, not societal programming, not taboo, not expected marital stamina. It's the Kundalini divine that gets to determine what is going to happen and what will not. And it's the Kundalini awakening person that must obey that divine design. Over.
Yay. Thank you very much, Chrism. There's a couple of questions about iPods and electronics being affected by the Kundalini.
Well, this is a common thing. This is common. The electronics, the watches, the laptops, the desktop computers, all will have effect by the Kundalini. Programs will run automatically. Motherboards will warp. Hard drives will become perhaps damaged or not working properly. This is technology being sacrificed for the Kundalini expression. Remember, we use technology in order to support our egoistic concerns. For the most part, we use technology in order to bring more comfort into our lives, to bring more communication into our lives. We use technology to support the artificial substances and buttresses of Maya or illusion that we like to live our lives within. And Kundalini doesn't necessarily support that. And so those circuitries may not be appreciated as they encounter the Kundalini and then are subsequently either destroyed or interfered with by the Kundalini. Over.
Thank you. What are your thoughts on the shamanic path?
Shamanic who?
The shamanic path.
The shamanic path. The shamanic path is one of the oldest, if not the oldest, spiritual belief system on this world. And because it's so connected to the nature, to the Mother Shakti, without using those words, because it's so intensely connected to life and the propagation of life and the experience of life and how life evolves and how it blends with the spiritual environment and how some of the shamanic journeying include healing, and often the shaman will have power animals, and we'll just say the power animal is a lion, and and the shaman will ask the lion, where is this person's problem located? Is it located in one of three dimensional places? And the lion will go and look for the source of the individual's problem, and will say, it's in the problem of the areas of gifts or the reception of gifts, and the person is basically taken to that area, or the shaman is taken to the area and sees that, this person rejected the gift of love early on in their life, and this gift of love began an atrophy equation in the heart or the cardiac complex, and this is why the person is having cardiac issues, is because they denied the gift of love and they denied the expression of the gift of love. And so therefore, if the person begins to accept the gift of love well, their cardiac response and their cardiac health can return, and the lion brings that back, and the shaman places that information within the individual, and that individual heals. And so there's a very strong connection and a blending and an understanding between the spiritual realm and the physical, natural realm that shamanics typically represent. And when I was down in Peru this last time, with you, Amelia, and Brooke, and Rosemary, and Joey, and Cole, and many of the people that were there, and I did the ayahuasca. Well, part of the songs that what's his name again? Alonso Del Rio. Yeah, Alonso Del Rio would sing. Well, they were direct songs of insects. So let me give you an example right here. During the middle of you're on the ayahuasca, right? And you're really feeling the altered state, and he sings beautiful music, so you're calm and you're kind of enjoying yourself, and in my case, wondering if I was going to barf. And in the middle of the ceremony, in the middle of this beautiful music, you're hearing things like or the birds whistling like, and you're hearing this, within the experience of the ayahuasca, you can really feel the shamanic blending of the two worlds, and the realization. I just got this from the Kundalini just now, and the realization that insects and animals and plants occupy both spaces at the same time. It's only the human and the psychology of the human that is really separating itself from nature by buying into and giving into its own egoic structures that are based in the human needs for survival and comfort and control over the environment. The shamanic people are really already tied in, and they understand the intricate web of interaction between the insects and the birds and the animals and the parasites and the microscopic organisms and the fish and everything that is there, and that can come out. If you take a shamanic ceremony down there in Ture, Peru, at Alonso del Rio's place, well, you too might be able to feel that interaction as he sings his sacred songs, which are not recorded. He does not allow those to be recorded. Only the recording in your mind and your memory, is allowed for that to occur. But you'll hear the V. And I've had experiences where I've heard that from a horde of insects back in 2001 when I was sitting on the high point, or standing at the high point of John of God's place, one of the power points there. And this is in the Mato Grosso region of central Brazil, about 4,000 feet in the air, which would be about, I think, 1,500 meters, I think, about somewhere around there. And it was in late September, early September, and the insects were exceptionally profoundly alive and moving. And you hear this amazing symphony of insect sounds come in waves across the land. They would have a real big and it increased in its volume, and it reaches this crescendo, and all of a sudden, silence. Nothing at all. And then you hear one or two, and then three or four more join in, and then the huge symphony starts all over again, once again, to reach this amazing crescendo, and then total silence. And it gave me this huge appreciation of insects, and I was visited by an amazing insect. This last time I was in Brazil. It defies classification. It's huge, like 7 or 8 inches, and very, very beautiful. I have it on a video that I have yet to put out on my channel. I'll have to get on that. But yeah, the shamanic systems are extremely powerful, extremely beautiful. Twice among the 7 times that I had ayahuasca there, 2 or 3 times, I think. Oh, no, it was 3 times. I was taken directly into the divine current, and I was obliterated within that current. So, yeah, I like the shamanic path. I don't necessarily follow it because I am beholden to the path that the Kundalini has set out for me. I must do as the Kundalini tells me to do. I must be in a very strict obedience. And part of that obedience, part of that Kundalini path is the appreciation of the shamanic path. But I must reach even further into the psychology and sociology of the human being. And I must respect all paths. And I must be able to find the Kundalini current within all of the different paths and pathways that humanity creates and responds to. Over. Are you sleeping? Hello?
Thank you. No, thank you, Chris.
Wait.
Sometimes when you speak.
Wait. Andrew Lucariello is asking a question, and he says, before Kundalini, I had He said, I don't know what he means. He said, before Kundalini, I had any thoughts beyond monogamy. Maybe he didn't have any thoughts. I didn't have any thoughts beyond monogamy, or I had many thoughts beyond. Andrew, you're going to have to straighten that up, guy. You had either many or you didn't have any. You can't just say, I had any thoughts beyond monogamy. So, I mean, I don't know what you're saying there, but I'll just go ahead and say, since my awakening, I have been feeling polyamorous, and my wife is open and understanding. I see. Oh, I see. There he goes. I didn't mean to say I didn't. Thank you for correcting it, Andrew. I meant to say I didn't have I didn't have thoughts beyond monogamy. Okay. But now with the Kundalini, you're feeling polyamorous now. Just be open to what the Kundalini tells you about it. Just be open to it. And be honest with yourself that if the Kundalini is telling you that you must make love with this other person, and you're not, you got to be sure about this. I understand that your wife is open and understanding, but also, why is she open and understanding? Does she feel that she doesn't have a choice, or is she wanting to expand beyond the parameters of the normal relationship too? Is she activated through you? Is she feeling polyamorous as well because of your Kundalini? I would suggest that you have a conversation about that. So there you go, Andrew. And thank you for the response. It's a very good response, and looking forward to see if you have any more to add to that. Go ahead, Santara, and I apologize for cutting you off like that.
No worries, Chrism. The questions actually are finished, but I do have one from my own page. My sound okay? All right.
Yeah, you sound okay. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So I'm thinking here. Okay, so somebody responded. We were talking about kriyas of devotion, devotional kriyas. And there was a response that said, kriyas of devotion inform us that in previous lives, you had loved highly spiritual or religious lives. And after the imprint of past lives or actions of devotion from your psyche would be erased by the kriyas. The kriyas of devotion would stop on their own. And I found that interesting.
Is this person Kundalini awakened? I'm going to guess that they're not.
I don't know. This person has only recently come to my page, so I don't know, Chrism. I said I would ask you because my feeling is that not only, that the signature of devotion that I was given in these kriyas will never leave me in this life, I don't feel somehow that they will be erased in the future either, or that they've been erased if the past has been the case,
Yeah, I'm not buying into that person's equation as far as what their explanation can be. Kriyas, first and foremost, are for the expression of Kundalini into the physical systems. Not a lot of past life stuff that's going on with that, unless, of course, there's some sort of a past life injury, like, say, you were hung by the neck until dead, or you were stabbed by a sword, or, you were born in Ireland, some sort of trauma like that. Those jokes here.
All of those I can take.
I take it back because Ireland's the most beautiful place to be. By the grace of Santara and John, I've been able to visit quite a few times, and Ireland's like heaven on earth in many, many respects. Anyway, the primary focus of kriyas is to bring Kundalini into the body and allow the body response to the Kundalini infusion. Past life stuff can deal with why that person is having the Kundalini. Did they burn all that karma in that past life in order to have Kundalini in this life? Yes, there can be some Kriya activity associated with that. There's supposition that the Kriyas are wiped out or taken away or disappear forever. No, not at all. Each body gets to have the Kundalini and it gets to have the Kriyas. I have the Kriyas too, and so, a lot of it depends on how the Kundalini wants to express herself through you. And, for a person to make such an absolutist list of statements about what the Kriya does and what Kriya doesn't does not resonate with me at all. I think that person needs to maybe activate their Kundalini first and then see what the Kundalini through them wants to say. Okay. Andrew continues. He says, Andrew says, Shakti Kundalini has me wearing a chastity belt most of the time, laughing out loud. And he continues, I'm experiencing a type of love where a person feels like more than just a friend, but not exactly a lover. And what I'm going to suggest that you do, Andrew, is to really surrender to the Kundalini. Surrender to the Kundalini. And be that friend and be that exceptional friend to all life around you, not just somebody coming up to you. Excuse me. Practice the love for everything. For the grass, for the weed, for the dog, the cat, the bird, the bug, the virus, the bacteria, the water, the earth, the air, the sun, the light, the stars. Embrace all of it and bring it all within you. Be a lover of Kundalini, of divinity. And then whoever is attracted to you based upon that premise, then you give to them as that premise directs you, that Kundalini premise directs you to give. And thank you once again, Andrew, for responding. Go ahead, Santara.
Well, that's the end of the question. If my sound is okay, I'll...
You sound kind of like you're on
Go on.
Maybe a couple of pints. I don't know. You're talking very slow because of the technology.
Yeah. As well as being on my phone, I left my headphones in my father's house. So I've got two negatives going on here. Yeah. I'm using his phone.
You left your headphones at Jesus? Was it Jesus or God?
In my father's. My biological father.
The BF.
Yes.
Okay.
So I apologize, guys. I do. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I mean, it's all right. It's all right. Now, look, I'm gonna bring Rosemary on. I think she has some announcements she wants to make. Okay.
Okay.
So here we go. And Rosemary, get your announcements ready. And where did she go? Did she leave? Did Rosemary leave us?
I'm
there
here.
She goes. I'm bringing her on.
Hello? Hi, Rosemary. Hi. Do you have announcements?
Hi. Yes, I do. Thank you. I'm standing here at the ready to jump the starting line here. Yes, we have our next seminar scheduled here in Minnesota, October 28th and 29th. And we are, Joey and I and Katie, are talking about things that we will be doing. We'll be visiting a number of places around this region in Minnesota to share with them what Kundalini is. And every week,
will we be having the trapeze act this time, or the elephants?
Well, we could look into that. We haven't gotten that far on our work yet. We're just making contacts with people and doing it.
Ask Joey to start arranging the trapeze act,
yes.
and the two of you performing on the trapeze. Okay.
Yes, I have witnessed people my age doing the trapeze act. I have. So but Chrism, I want to thank you.
I want Joey walking the tightrope.
Okay, but we'll take care of that.
Go ahead.
And I want to thank you, Chrism, for being available to us when we've had some expos. We have a little one on this coming Saturday, just 2.5 hours. But just for people to know that Chrism has made himself available to talk to people who are there at the expo and then who come to our booth. And Katie especially has been helpful in people coming near and around her booth. And it's amazing. And I want to say that people, all of us know who listen to you now and who hear you, but it's quite powerful and loving. And the energy of Kundalini in your conversation with total strangers. And you're listening to them.
It's kind of neat. It's kind of like what happens here on this program. Like Centaura, she'll ask a question, and the Kunalini just dials right into it. And so when at these expos, a person will come up and ask a question, and the Kunalini just dials right into them, right into them.
Yeah. And in every, the first one, we didn't have enough sound. Well, no, we didn't have a good connection. But the last 2 times, the energy has shifted in the room when this was going on and remained there, later. So, and I people received that, and they didn't know. Well, nobody came up and said to me, "What happened?" But I knew what happened, and Joey and I knew, and so it's quite amazing to see that as well.
You're saying that it wasn't the free beer sign on the table?
No, or the dancing girls in their trapeze wasn't that either.
Okay.
All the practice they did for the trapeze. No, that's nothing compared to your speaking, Kundalini speaking to others through you. Yes, thank you. So I look forward to the next time. That is going to be in April, not this first, but I apologize. That's not near me, but I can find it pretty quick.
You say we have an event this weekend?
The first, yes.
For 2 hours.
We have an event, but it's just 2.5 hours.
That's
it's
okay.
down in Mankato, though. But the next one is April 29th, and that is at Christie's place there in Mankato, where we're considering having the seminar. So the same place that I just described, the room changing and all of that, that'll be there again.
Okay, all right.
Provided you're available, and I'm sorry I haven't asked you that yet, but
that's okay. That's all right. I'll try to make myself available. The whole idea of even doing this program and doing these seminars is to get as much information into the population. So of course, try to make myself available. Thank you, Rosemary, for your announcements, and thank you, Joey, for listening. Okay. All right, Centaur, do you have announcements? Uh-oh,
yes,
did I lose her?
Chrism, I do.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm here. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Chrism? Oh, yeah, okay. Yes, I do have announcements. The first one is to give people the address they can go to if they would like to make a donation. So you can go to www.chrism-kundalini.blogspot.com. And the other place you can go is KundaliniSafeties.com, and there you will find the donate button, and all donations are gratefully received and are very, very helpful. So large donations, if you're in a position to do that, would be wonderful, but if you're in a position to give a small donation, that would be gratefully received as well. So thank you for that. And then I give a quick announcement there about the seminar that's coming up in September that Manisha is organizing in Berlin. It's happening on the 15th, 16th, and 17th of September. And Chrism has been in Berlin last year, and we're going to be having the seminar in the same venue in Schönberg. And I'm really looking forward to that. So if you would like to get in touch with Manisha, she can give you the information, and she's taking deposits now. So places are beginning to fill up. So if you've got an interest, please do contact her. You can find her on Facebook, or you can contact her at manisha@postio.de. And also you can go to Kundalini Seminars and Events with Chrism on Facebook, and there you will also get information, and you can leave a message there as well. They're my two announcements, Chrism.
Thank you. And I'm going to go back a little bit to the karma clearing and Kundalini topic that was brought up, and I'm going to read you something that was written a little while ago, and it's called Karma Clearing and Kundalini, and basically, talking about, some of the dynamics of this. I'm certainly not going to say these are all the dynamics, but these are some of the dynamics of karma clearing and Kundalini. By walking in active expression of the safety protocols, the physical protocols, the emotional protocols, the mental protocols, physical protocols being the 5 Tibetans and grounding yourself and hard work and getting your hands in the soil and things of that nature. And the emotional protocols being forgiveness, kindness, consideration, tolerance, patience, trust, honesty. These levels, love being one of the most important ones. When you walk in these active expressions of the safety protocols, the karma will be cleared in a fashion that may be quite rapid and tactile. And by clearing it, you may also feel it again. Yet it will also be modified by the Kundalini. Remember that it is best to move slowly into these areas, and yet also consciously and considerately as we intend and move our way into the energetic of other times and places that we do not have a clear understanding of due to the veil of forgetfulness that we participate in when having a new body. So, Kundalini will also derive this aspect of an awakening. Kundalini will select the karmic challenges that will most effectively allow you to move forward. Please be mindful that Kundalini is far more aware of what needs to be balanced within karma than the conscious mind can ever be, and that your desire to balance karma is being given from that source. So when you encounter areas of your life that are very challenging, look to how you respond to those challenges, that you may indeed honor the process of the karmic balancing opportunity that the Kundalini is giving. Okay. All right. So I just want to say thank you to everyone who participated in this program and either listening in the chat room, hello everybody there, or listening in the archives, hello everyone there. And I want to honor Rosemary and Joey and David and our caller for calling in today and participating in our program. Most of all, I'd like to thank Amelia Santara for setting up this program and for hosting it as valiantly as she does during the little mini tornadoes that I throw in to spice things up, or the Kundalini throws to spice things up. I just want to say thank you to everyone participating. Any last words, Amelia Santara?
My last words, I was going to say no and then begin something. I would just like to say thank you very much, Chrism. I really resonated and enjoyed the Kundalini Pyramid you spoke of today, and I feel it's one of the ones I am going to transcribe as well, because I think the questions that you asked were very valuable. So I certainly will do that, and it really resonated deeply with me when you were speaking. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Amelia Santara. And once again, thank you for creating this program. And thank you, everyone, for listening. And I will go ahead and end this the way I started it. Here we go.